record to this computer. Okay.
I have two files that I want to share. I'm opening all of them at once. It is about the HR posting and onboarding plus recruitment steps that you told me to find. The first tab has posting, the second one recruitment, the third one onboarding.
Okay, so first, that your objective and your prompts have to go in a separate tab at the beginning of your tabs at the bottom, because that's the first thing that you have to set up. So all you have to do is, you can duplicate it, move it, and capitals as well. Use the same format. And also, right, you've got to spell things correctly in your title. You have something spelled incorrectly. And also, don't put in commas, and you got to be careful of your spacing.
Like that, eh?
Yeah, posting, onboarding. Well, first of all, posting, you got, okay, look, right, Felisa, you got to be logical about what you're doing.
Yes.
So you got to think about what you're doing. Do you post then onboard before you recruit? If I gave you those three words, recruitment, onboarding, posting, what's the order that you'd put them in?
The order is you post, you recruit, recruiting and onboarding. What comes first? That was my own. I thought recruitment comes first.
Well, no, you gotta post in order to recruit. But you have
Yes.
onboarding in the middle. You can't onboard anybody until you've recruited them. So that's the last thing.
Onboarding is the last tab.
So why in your title do you have it as the middle step? Title,
Oh, okay.
title. You've got to think about everything that you're doing, and you don't need and. Just put right HR, posting, recruitment, onboarding. You don't need an and. So take out the and.
Like
Got
this.
the wait. You got an extra space. Take out the extra space after the G. And you got an extra. Now I put the G back in. Now take out the extra space between posting and recruitment.
extra space.
There's extra space between posting and recruitment. Trust
I
me.
should reduce the space.
Yeah, it should only be one space. You got more.
That one.
That's one. Okay. So now your objectives and your prompts, right, have to go into their own. Well, it can be objectives and prompts together in one tab because you've got to submit those to AI to make sure that you're doing your next step correctly. The problem I have with the information that's in your posting steps is you've got it horizontal. Okay. When you think of steps, when you walk up the stairs, are they horizontal or vertical?
Yeah.
Steps go
That's
down. So
yes.
you have an order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the traditional way of looking at steps. Yes, you can do steps horizontal, but normally they're when you're doing graphic design, you can do your steps horizontally. It's different. It's a workflow. Here you want to do steps and you want to make it easy. You want to make it easy for people to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's harder for them to follow it when it's horizontal. So reorganize this, but let's take a look at your objective first. Okay, you're not following our procedure for writing effective prompts. What's our procedure for writing effective prompts?
Should have a tone, a voice limitation, and expertise.
Okay, that's completely the wrong order. See, you've got to be more systematic to your approach, just like everybody else. The company gives you a system to follow. You're in HR, right? How about if you had all the employees, the company gives them a system, and then they just do it any which way order they want? It's your responsibility in HR to make sure that they're doing it right. Not just their managers, HR has to make sure that they're trained properly to do their job if they're not doing it right. People are going to come back to you and say, hey, this person's got a problem. They're not following, they're ignoring everything that the company is telling them to do. Meanwhile, you can't be doing the same thing. It doesn't work that way. So I want you to rewrite the prompt. I want you to rewrite the objective to make it more specific. Develop template and approval flows for creating and publishing job openings. Okay, but the thing is, you should add the rest of it in there. It's you can have one prompt, yes, for posting, okay, but you want to go ahead and you can have one objective, but you want to tie all this together. Posting and recruitment go together, okay? Onboarding, right, and training, let's say, go together. So in this case, right, you should have had posting and recruitment grouped together. And then you could do another section for onboarding and training. Okay, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then I want you to I want you to write your specific prompt, and then I want you to take the objective in the prompt and run that through AI and say, make this better. How can you improve this? And give me examples. Okay, which is what you did. Like all the stuff that you have here came from AI, yes?
from Google, from
Okay.
the internet,
From where?
Google.
Well, I know it came from the internet, but did you use AI to do it or you use just a Google search? But if you use Google search, where is your citations?
I didn't include, but I used the Google search.
Doesn't matter. So you didn't include, that's not the right procedure. Here's your citations. Where'd you get this from? What's the URL? Right? How do I know that you looked at several of them and you synthesized the information before you did your outline, or did you just take the first one? Right? You got to follow our process. Our process is you got to use the Pomoro system, and then you've got to use, right, in your research, that's when you use the other system for your prompt and your objective and prompt, okay, as well as other systems that we have. Okay. So the thing is, like when you do onboarding and then you do training, what's one of the first things that we're going to have people do when they do their training? Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
And you're not going to get this from Google. They've got to learn, right, our Pomoro system. They got to learn our prompt system. They have to go ahead and do a glossary of 50 terms in their industry. They have to go ahead and do the top 30, whatever, um, um, things that they need to know about how to use Excel. That's all training. And then later comes, right, how to go ahead and do database management, how to do custom email, right?
Yes.
So start to outline that in a spreadsheet because you're going to go through one of the things that you're going to go through very quickly is not only doing the posts for the different colleges, but you're going to update using AI our handbooks that we have. So we've got a volunteer intern handbook. It's got to be updated. It hasn't been updated for a while. Okay. And you're going to use AI to help you do it. So we'll produce like a little booklet that's a digital booklet on this stuff, plus policies and procedures. So write this. These are the steps that we're going to go through. So now we're going to post. Then we're going to go and do our handbook. Then we're also going to have policies and procedures, right? Cheat sheets for people to follow. You should write that into your notes so I don't see it and then you can organize it better. And then you should have a spreadsheet for your things to do. We're going to get you very organized.
So we are going to write the steps to follow.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the one who's supposed to be taking notes. You are.
I got lost somewhere.
New Jersey, right?
Yes.
You got lost in New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay, after your name, you're supposed to put what country you're in.
Yes.
In your prompt. See, this is bad. Whatever you call it, Zoom doesn't save this information. So what you're supposed to do is after your name, you're supposed to do your country. Like this. Okay. But for some reason, Zoom isn't saving it. So why don't you research, right, how to change your name and have Zoom save it? and then put your country after your name. So we're having everybody do that. Okay. And what's your typing speed, by the way?
Very fast.
Really?
Very fast.
Okay. Yes, what I see isn't very fast. Okay. So what I want you to do is right now for tomorrow, concentrate on revising the information based on what I told you. And do you want me to give you a recording of this so you have so you can make your notes better?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay. Let me see. Since this is short, okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me see if I can do it right now before I go for my appointment. Okay. So
Yes.
okay, so look for it, or I'll text you. I'll text you when it goes when it's live. Okay.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I mean, in terms of how your spreadsheet looks, okay, it looks professional. Okay, you're getting, yeah, that's better. Now scroll up, scroll up. Yeah, okay, okay, good. Okay, so take all the, I use a lot of these little formulas that I create, 4 steps that you have to do and know for the organization. Um, and it's really important that you start to learn those because you're going to eventually be telling others and hopefully training others, okay, about our systems. And you can't always rely upon a PowerPoint to do it. You got to do it out of your brain. Okay. So, we want to go ahead and move you up as quickly as possible so that you can even be teaching this to management people in companies and getting compensated for it. Isn't that the goal?
That's the goal.
Okay. So let's make it happen because literally in a couple of weeks, I want you to start doing your outreach to organizations about that. Okay. So let's get the preliminary foundation stuff done really quickly. Okay. And then we can add that in, and you don't have to know everything before we start that. You're going to learn as you go, but you're still going to follow the system. And I'll make what you're putting out there simple so that you can master it quickly. Okay. But you won't have to answer their questions because you're not the expert yet. But you're going to learn how to handle situations so that you can be professional. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for right now?
I would like you to please tell me the procedure for the prompt again.
No, I refuse because it should already be in your notes and it's in the video that
I
you
have
should.
in the notes, but I think that yesterday after writing it, someone wrote it, then you're like, it was still missing something. That's why I'm asking again.
Let me see. There's really only 4 words that you need to know. Um, let's see if I can find where this is. probably have to write it again. I'm tired of writing this. Okay, that's it. Especially if I spelled it wrong. Okay. Um, okay, so I'll put it in the chat. And let's see if I can just change this a second. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay. Okay, so that's your four things. Can you see those?
Yes, I can see them.
Okay. And you know that you can copy those too.
Yes.
Okay. So there's three dots at the bottom right after that, and it says more,
Yes.
and you can copy right off of that. So three dots right below what's in the chat, you can copy that and paste it in. And again, you've got to, yeah. Okay, I'll let you figure that all out. Okay. Good seeing
Yes.
you. I've got to
Okay.
run.
Thank you.
I will see you mañana.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, talk to you later, Felista. Thanks. Okay, bye.